Hey, my nieces and nephews, your old neighborhood fun uncle Richard Kilpatrick here, and you're probably asking yourself, what is a fun uncle? That's a fair question. Don't feel bad for asking that. That's a fair question. I like to say that a fun uncle is the kind of person you can talk to about anything. There's no subjects off limits. You know what I'm saying? It's the person you used to meet with behind the bleachers that would give you the hot take on things. It's that useful piece of advice that's carved into the bathroom walls. That's who your fun uncle is. I've always said that a night with your fun uncle or fun aunt, just drinking a glass of whiskey or a glass of wine with your fun uncle or fun aunt can be more advantageous than a year with a therapist. You know, we'll cover all the bases. There's no wrong questions. We will brutally, honestly talk to you about everything, and it's just like anything. There's no subjects off limits. Cars, finances, real estate, relationships, and for this episode, we're talking about cryptocurrencies. We're talking about Big Mama and Big Papa, Ethereum and Bitcoin. I always have my charts up. I love looking at these right here. And then also, I like to pull up, these are my Binance charts on this screen right here. And then I'll give you an over shoulder. I got this screen is my Binance charts. And then right here, I've got my 360 view of all cryptocurrencies. I think this is a great place for people just to look, to get a bird's eye view of the scale of things, where the money's moving generally, how the market's looking. We're seeing some standout greens here with Solana. Looks like I think this is Tezos and Waves down here. There's some greens still happening. I would say overall the market's red. And for the big ones, Mom and Papa, Bitcoin and Ethereum, we're setting lower highs. We are trending downwards. And it's kind of hard to say where we're going, honestly. You want to think that the bottom's in. You want to think that right now just people are accumulating. There's the word capitulation taking place, if you guys want to look that one up. And so just generally speaking, we don't have the same volume. We don't have the same kind of movements we were once having. And I brought up some pieces of news to kind of highlight that fact in these next pages over here. Actually, let's start with this. This is another person you should check out. Is Benjamin Cohen. And he is just a brilliant mind who's been doing technical analysis on cryptocurrency forever. And I get a lot of my ideas from this guy. So please check him out. Please check him out on YouTube and follow him. Subscribe to him. Brilliant mind. I cannot say enough good things about this guy. And he was discussing the path forward for Bitcoin. Because we're all worried about this death cross where the 200-day moving average will intersect with the 50-day moving average. And when people generally assume that's the sign of a bear market has started. And so he says that there is one possibility of us avoiding this death cross, and that is if Bitcoin, starting today, rises by $800 a day, every single day, throughout June and July. That is the only scenario where we will avoid this. And it kind of seems just far-fetched. I mean, look at this line compared to all other Bitcoin price movements. It's just not going to happen. This death cross is going to happen. We would need a miracle for it to not happen. And even look at the charts right here. As I'm talking about it, this is just the 15-minute chart. Let's zoom out a little bit further with the hour charts. We're going down. Guys, we're going down. So good, we're going down, swinging. And this is why, and again, I'm the only guy in the business who has his thumbnails put together while he's making the show. I say it's sudden drops. At any point, we're going to see some sudden drops in cryptocurrencies. Just be prepared for it. But don't be scared. These are great opportunities that are coming up. I would say these are great buying opportunities. If you're daily cost averaging, you're just licking your lips at a chance to buy some at a lower price. And if we pull back up this screen here, I've got a couple pieces of news that are backing me up on this fact. For example, any spare dimes that were circulating out in the market, people have put into other gambling asset ventures, for example, like AMC stock. Anyone had some money on the sidelines threw it into AMC stock for the YOLOs. Moreover, we have this big pandemic boom that's taking place right now. People who had some spare money on the sidelines over-leveraged themselves on a house or a second house in this last year, and so they no longer have any spare cash to buy some Bitcoin, for example. And the other piece of news I had, oh my God, car loans too. People are over-leveraging themselves on cars, and what used to be a depreciating asset is now increasing in value. So cars are now gone up in price. Like if you had bought a car last year, this year's a good year to sell it. You might have made money on that car actually because we have this chip shortage. People aren't paying their car loans back, and then we got this other news article here: 7 reasons Americans aren't buying crypto. And it's just the usual stuff. I don't know what to do with it. I don't understand it. I've never heard of it. I think it's a bad investment. It's too expensive, and I'm waiting for more people to start using it. And this is one I want to highlight specifically because I was listening to Anthony Pompliano's show the other day, and they were talking about how a lot of multi-millionaire whale investors are willing to miss out on potential profits just so they can be confident in the direction to which Bitcoin is heading. And what I mean by that is right now we're teetering on either going to 30,000 or going up to 44, 45,000. The path is not clear yet. And so a lot of these investors are willing to wait and miss out on 20% potential profit until Bitcoin hits that $44,000, $45,000 level before they will buy. And it's really just them. They want to make sure their investment's secure. They're willing, whenever you have multi-million dollars, you're okay with missing 20% every now and then, just to make sure you're not about to lose 20% of your money. They're willing to wait, and that's the level that they're eyeballing, specifically on Anthony Pompliano's show, is what they were talking about as a level. And there's a lot of barriers to entry right now. I mean, the wallets, you need an alphanumeric key. You have to have the security key for your wallet. If you lose that, it's gone for good. If you send it to the wrong wallet, it's gone for good. There's a lot of elements to Bitcoin that just scare people off, especially the average user and baby boomers, which I think is the last hurdle for cryptocurrency's full adoption, is getting the people who were not born with computers, who were regularly apprehensive of computer usage, are the people who are not buying cryptocurrency and should be, and that's what's holding us back from going to the moon, as we would say. And the other thing I've got here is this Wyckoff distribution chart, which a lot of influencers are talking about. It's hard to not see this on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter. This Wyckoff distribution chart is just lining up textbook style. Look at how these peaks are lining up, these resistance levels, and the only real conversation we're having now when we're looking at this chart is, are we right here? Or are we right here? Or are we right here? And the long and the short and the bottom line of it all is, let's go with the worst case scenario, that this is right here and we got to go to 25,000 and we got to go to 15,000. Is what these two drop marks are going to be. These are fun uncle round numbers. Worst case scenario that we're here, we've got some more dropping to go. The positive of that is, even if we drop down to this level, 70% of Bitcoin holders are still in the green. Most Bitcoin people are looking at this as an awesome buying opportunity because every single year the price goes up in the fall and in the winter, and it's safe to assume that whenever that happens, these large investors will be willing to buy the farm whenever they see these trend lines going up, and it'll keep going up and up and up and up. So, the optimists in all of us want to say that this is going to be another 2 months of sideways downwards trading until we get some good news. Honestly, whenever I was pulling up news this morning, I was just like, bad news, bad news. And it's not just Bitcoin, it's the general economy. The stock market is insanely peaked out right now. Car loans, housing, and then just the barrier to entry to get into some of this stuff. And then we got to bring up the fact that 70% of the country can't afford a $400 emergency. And we're about to head into the Great Depression. The second Great Depression is about to be upon us. And I think just all of these converging factors are going to cause Bitcoin to trend downwards for a little while longer here. And let me pull up some of the closer charts on this. We're hopeful, but again, the volume is so low that you can just tell these are real retail investors. These are not big transactions that are taking place. For example, right here, that looks like a really high peak, but it's only about 200 Bitcoin. Now, just because I've been watching the charts for so long, I would know that whenever we see a standout volume mark like this, that's one under about 1,000 Bitcoin, you can assume that these are just retail investors here. 1,000 Bitcoin and above, that's when you start talking about these whales, these massive institutions and stuff like that buying. So just the fact that the volumes are just generally so low, and even our largest, highest peaks are low on average compared to some of the other stuff we've seen throughout the year, just tells me that these are just mom and pops, small traders like you and me who are hopeful. But in reality, you know, we have to read the writing on the wall, read the room, look at these, you know, manipulation charts. Wyckoff, God bless his soul, for giving us charts like this to compare with, because you can just see the writing. The proof is in the pudding here. I don't know if you're looking for evidence in pudding, if you're that kind of person, but this tells me almost definitively that we have some more downward movement ahead of us, and it's not Bitcoin's fault. I will bring it up one more time. You know, we've got all of this bad news: stock market, housing, cars, you know, and just COVID and general inflation that's coming our way. People are nervous. People are putting money on the sidelines. They're waiting for the drop. Everyone's riding the roller coaster, and all you got to do now is just have a good strategy. And that's where I go to the daily cost averaging strategy right here. Let's just look at this chart. If you had bought consistently, and this looks like monthly intervals, you know, just on the same day every month, your average price is beating the market. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of buying in one lump sum and trying to time the market, it's time in the market. You know, so it's timing the market or time in the market. And it's just time in the market. Buy when you can, in small chunks. Always have a little cash on the sidelines. And if you really want to play the game, not only are you daily cost averaging at a consistent level, but whenever you see these drops like this, increase your daily cost averaging. I would say, just, you know, like, let's say if this is $100, $100, $100, $100. Whenever we get in this territory, try your darndest to start buying $200 whenever we're at these low periods like this. And so, for example, like right now, if you were a person who's daily cost averaging, you got to be looking at these charts right now and saying, okay, how can I up the amount I'm buying at these regular intervals in order to hedge my bets, you know, for lack of a better phrase. Like, when we're looking at things trending downwards like this, you're like, okay, these are great buying opportunities. Cryptocurrency is not going away. Most financial institutions will agree with you on that this is not going away. It'll be here forever. If you've got some money you're going to burn that you normally would have bought a pack of smokes or some scratchers with, I'd say put it into some cryptocurrency, guys. Like, come on. Get some crypto, put it on the side, forget you have it, wake up in 6 years from some kind of coma, and you'll be excited you did it. All right? It's not going anywhere. These are great buying opportunities. Don't let another couple drops, you know, wrench your stomach. I want you to look at those as opportunities to buy, not opportunities to slide into a depression where you just lay under a blanket and watch Princess Bride all day. Don't do that. I want you to get up, stand your ground, put a little bit more money into it, hold the line, because we're all holding it together. We're all believing in each other, because, you know, if we can't have faith, then we're all lost, I think, is really the mantra there. So before I wrap this up, I want to just give another quick overview of everything we've discussed today, right? So just generally, we're having a green day, but don't be fooled, all right? Don't be fooled about this being a green day. We are not in the clear. We have many more metrics we have to pass, specifically the $44,000 level, before we are blue skies to the moon, rocket boosters, liftoff, all right? We also want to remind you guys about Benjamin Cohen, a guy you have to check out on YouTube right now. Subscribe to him on Twitter, all of the above. Get his Patreon. Send him some hugs and kisses over the mail, too. He did the math, and he said in order to avoid this death cross, we have to go up by $800 a day, which is honestly isn't realistic. I don't think at any point in Bitcoin's history we've averaged $800 a day. So we would need to have many miracles and many big buyers coming in all at once. So he's basically just being real with us and saying that no, it's not possible. This death cross is going to happen sometime in mid-June, and that might be the catalyst for further drops. So just be prepared for that and have some money on the sideline to buy the dip, honestly. We have the 4 big articles here just came out today about just the insanity, you know, People are putting their money in AMC stock. The stock market is being overinflated like crazy. This housing boom, people are throwing money like insane people at houses, doing 20-30% over asking on houses. So they don't have any money to buy Bitcoin. We've got these people buying overpriced cars and are frantic trying to get more cars because we have, this chip shortage. Just inflation is already hitting everybody. It's a mess. We got cars. We got stock market. We got houses. And then this last article here says people don't get it. They don't know what to do with it. They don't understand. It's too complicated. Blah, 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 blah. And I think this is we have an education hurdle too as the fourth and final thing is people just don't get it. They're waiting for more. They want it to be more expensive. They want more people involved. They want more regulation. They want it to be easier to. And so I would say the baby boomer investors, who are the guilty ones here in this situation, who I would say fit all 7 of these categories perfectly, they just need to figure it out. They need to get with the times. And that's usually a little bit harder for the baby boomers. They need their children to come in and set that stuff up for them. And lastly is the Wyckoff's distribution right here. It lines up pretty nicely. It kind of is the writing on the wall, for lack of a better phrase, that more is coming. More is coming, and you just want to guess, are we here or are we here? And, the optimist in me wants to say we're here, but the realist in me wants to tell everybody this is where we are in this chart. So be spry, keep some money on the sidelines, and remember to daily cost average when and where you can. So, I want to thank all you guys for tuning in. I want you to be cautious. There are sudden drops in front of you. There are rocks falling off the cliffside, so be careful, everybody. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want you to stay fun. I want you to stay positive. When in doubt, try to find something funny to say when you've got nothing else to say. Try to make the world a better place. I'm just your fun uncle. Hey, thanks for tuning in, all right? Thanks, guys.